affected by the disease and also promote research into better treatment and a cure. Sjögren's syndrome is a chronic autoimmune disorder where the body's immune system mistakenly attacks its own moisture-producing gland. So it primarily affects the salivary gland, the tear gland, leading to dry mouth and dry eyes. Sjogren's can also affect other organs and systems, including skin, joints, kidneys. Common symptoms include dry mouth, dry eyes, joint pain, and swollen glands, particularly the salivary gland. So please, today, if you know anyone, we're just advocating and promoting, better care for people that are living with this condition. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back from that break, we will continue with Akpabio's matter. Stay with us. All right. Thanks for staying with us. Now, in July 2024, Nigerian Senator Godswill Akpabio made a comment describing the Nigerian senator, the Nigerian Senate as a clubhouse during a session. Now, this remark aimed to criticize, this remark aimed at criticizing the lack of seriousness in the legislative debate was perceived, right, as disparaging towards the fellow senator, including which was Senator Natasha, who publicly expressed her displeasure. Following the backlash, Akpabio has come out to apologize in the Senate chambers, expressing regret for any offenses that he must have caused, and reaffirming his respect for the institution and, of course, also its members. Right. So before we go into the conversation, I want you to hear the comment and the apology, then we'll come back to have this conversation.
Mr. President, we don't want it to be killed. We just want a bit of modification. We don't want the bill killed, but it should be slight modifications. It's a necessary bill.
Senator Natasha, in the chamber, you have to be recognized before you speak.
Oh, pardon me.
Yeah, we are not in a nightclub. Those in favor that this bill be now read a second time, say aye. Those against, say nay. I don't know how you took it, but I felt that I should send a public apology to you over the miscommunication and the misunderstanding. So do accept my apologies, and my colleagues, or anybody who could have felt offended, accept my apologies. I did not mean any harm. And they went into private abuses. I don't want to say what they did to me, because what they did to me, I think I don't merit it. I was telling DSP that it's even the one they should be talking to, because in my tradition, we marry only one wife. So they listed so many wives on social media. And at the end, it will look as if the Senate president had or has so many wives. When indeed, I'm reporting to my colleagues, I have only one.
So, in light of this conversation, we want to have what's it called? We want to just analyze what happened, right, from the nightclub comments to his apology. First of all, let me just state it that the fear of gist lover is the beginning of wisdom in Nigeria, because when the Senate president came out to do the apology, when he says he felt he should apologize, Oga, you did not feel you should apologize, right? Somebody compelled you and gave you a threat. I saw that post yesterday. I said, wow, what audacity. Yesterday, a lot of things, social media were going to Gog, and a lot of people, were just talking. Me, I was wondering what was happening. It was my sister that is not in Nigeria that sent me a link. That what's going on? And that was the video that Dakore Ebuson had come out to openly state that, she's the one that vehemently, saying that, no, I have never met this person and all of that. Apparently, this blog, Gist Lover, had posted side chicks ex-side chicks, current side chicks, wife, like that, of the
Incoming
Senate
side
president.
chicks.
And there was a long write-up. And in that write-up, the Senate president was called out to say that it was very derogatory, the way he spoke to his fellow senator, and that if he does not tender an apology, a lot of receipts will come out from the allegations about, a lot of things were pinned on him. But let us even speak to the comment. There's a popular quote from the Bible that says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, right? If you thought, because when he came back to say the apology about, at the nightclub, you raise your voice, that was not the direction of where the conversation was going. But let us give him the benefit of doubt that was where his mind was. But, first of all, when this happened, because let me not talk too much, what was going through your mind? Were you on the blogs to doing all the because me, I know they follow the blog, or I don't know.
So,
but let me hear your thoughts, ladies.
Like you said, I didn't even know, initially when this whole thing happened until much later. And honestly, for me, I had a lot of concerns about it. Yes, a sitting senator may have made a derogatory remark. Yes, it was right to call him out. Yes, it was right to, in the interest of mutual respect, to make certain demands to say, okay, you must do right by this person, not just as a female person, but your colleague. And the fact that it was said in the hallowed chambers, it must be respected. But I felt that to want to pass your message across and then think that the best way to do that would be to malign or drag other people into that conversation, I felt it was wrong. So I was pissed off. I didn't even bother reading.
When you saw the
when
blog.
I saw it, I didn't bother. I said, because what this has done is it has taken away from the
crux of the issue.
Exactly. It has taken it away, and then you have sensationalized it. Because what has happened is truly troublesome. You don't come into that kind of place at a time when a serious conversation is going on and say that kind of, you don't play with certain things in that kind of situation. And then it was being aired live. And then you now come up with some excuse to say, oh, you didn't. No. As a public person, even a person in position of leadership, they talk about communication skills. There are certain things you don't say. You don't joke around it. Again, because it can be misconstrued. You don't get to tell a person that you can't interpret what I said like this. No, we have different capacities. But now, the way the conversation now went and then all that, I was just like, okay, you know what?
I ain't doing this.
I'm
Let me
not
hear your
doing
thoughts,
this.
Mercy.
So for me, I think that the context, when I saw that, what really even drew my attention to it was the action from the blog that we all know. That's what actually drew my attention. So I wanted to now find out exactly what transpired. And then seeing that, it came from a place of saying that there are rules and regulations. So apparently Natasha had faulted, you're supposed to be called before you can speak. But the session was already rowdy. And we know how these sessions can be, especially we see it across in most continents and all of that. It can be very dramatic. It can be very violent. And she was called to her that she apologized. But just like she had said, there are some words that are not expected to be in your vocabulary. Every industry has, there's certain words that are supposed to be within the vocabulary. Just like we're on television now, there are some things that we're not expected to say. And as a public, whether you like it or not, you're a practitioner. So there's a lot of expectation that people have about you, whether you want to believe it or not. And so I think that it comes from that particular, ground that, it was literally very, very wrong. And Akpabio has done this. I like the fact that we're becoming very accountable. We're holding, our leaders to be accountable, public office holder. That is it. And we're also trying to teach values. But, the way and manner in which we also go about it might also be questionable. But at the end of the day, some people will say the end justifies the means. Exactly how some of these politicians get things done. As long as you get the answer or you get, things done, it doesn't matter how you get it done. But for me, it's the fact that people are, if you notice now, there's a lot of accountability. People hold you to things. People ask you to behave in a certain way because it is very derogatory and it's condescending. it's not expected of that class. There's some kind of language that is expected in a certain gathering and not the hallowed chamber. So, yes.
Both women. Do you believe that this conversation would not have happened if Natasha was male?
So I'm so happy that I get that question, right? But I wanted to
Quickly,
start from
yeah,
something.
yeah.
You know, you remember, I don't know if you saw Game of Thrones when Jon Snow met Khaleesi for the first time. She was trying to ask him to bend the knee, and he didn't want to. And then he said, "It doesn't matter who bends the knee, you know, because at the end of the day, if we don't do what needs to be done, we're all like children just clamoring." And she said, "I thought you liked this man. He just called me a child." And the Hand of the Queen said, "Oh no, he didn't call you a child. He called us children." That's the first thing that came to mind when I saw the video, when I watched it. I do think that our anger is misplaced. I'll tell you why. From 2007 to 2015, the man was governor, allegedly embezzled funds, mismanaged the state funds. In 2015, the EFCC investigated the man. In 2018, he defected to another party, and people said, "Oh, you're defecting because you know that they're coming for you and you need protection." In 2020, I think that was Joy, I don't know the pronunciation for her name, or something like that. She's managing director for the NDDC. She made remarks about his alleged embezzlement of funds, and he said that she's unmarried.
Yes.
You know, even at that time, he was flippant about it. I can't believe that a man with that kind of history, we're not angry about the fact that he exists in state politics and he holds the level of power that he holds. We're worried about him smiling and saying, "This is not a nightclub." I also have a problem with women in general assuming that a thing has been done to them because they are women. I prefer for you to say, "Oh, sit down, you're a girl." Then I know that you've come for me because I'm a woman. Otherwise, if you're an irresponsible person, I assume that you're just being irresponsible to everybody, not because I'm a woman. So I just wanted to say
But
that.
you also need to know where that is coming from. I know that you want to get in, or we need to get out, but just quickly, don't forget that, like you asked the question, I don't know if that was the question you were going to ask, that what if, was this apology that has been tendered by the Senate president, would he have tendered this apology if we didn't have a blog called
Just
This Lover
threatening.
compelling him, you know, to a point where, like you said, you didn't like the approach. Private numbers were out, a lot of private whatever, literally out there. Do you think that he would have actually done that? Don't forget that we're at this point. We're talking about this because the way the blog perceived it, he perceived it as you're talking down on a woman or these women because maybe due to the kind of lifestyle that you live, you have no regard for
I have
women.
your type now.
You
Men say
understand?
that.
Yeah,
So you
Yeah,
feel
that
so
instant,
because
that
because at the end of the
happens.
day,
That's vocal.
let's get it. It was not you and I that came to cry. You know, it was the fact that the blog raised this. It was it was a narrative that was raised, and people saw it. And when people saw it, people started saying this is really condescending. It wasn't even Natasha that raised the concern. I don't know if you get where I'm coming from. So the point now is, it is from a perception of a blog. It's from a perception that someone had a perception about someone who is monitoring. This blog understands or see things or have foot soldiers, and they understand what's going on and they see the behavior. And don't forget that there could also be a lot of, what's it called again? Just like you've mentioned, there's something you mentioned. There could be antecedent. And that's where this whole thing is coming, that, because I remember vividly the word in that blog is talk down. You talk down on this woman,
And you should tender an apology.
You should, because I
A
think that
public apology.
you have these women, and then you think that these women are literally
They're all the
nothing,
same.
or all the same. So that's the premise that's coming from. It's not necessarily. So I don't think that all the women or people just jump up and say, "Oh, this guy is just women are
doing this
crying
because
foul."
you're
Do you
a
understand?
woman.
I don't think so, because even Natasha herself didn't cry about this.
I just want to say that to assume that the guy came out to apologize because of a blog, that's giving too much credit to him. And they're giving too much credit to the blog.
But do
He's a
you
Nigerian
think?
politician.
Wait,
He
do you
didn't
think he
need
would have
to.
apologized?
There was outrage. Whether the blog was the only outrage or not. Nigerians, have you gone on Twitter? People are losing
Yeah,
their minds
people,
about this.
it's
People are going
crazy.
back and digging up old wounds and saying, "This man, you were even investigated before." So it wasn't primarily because, I mean, the blog contributed to it. I'll give it that credit. But to say that a Nigerian politician in this country, like Akpabio, with impunity, came out to apologize because of a blog.
No,
No,
wait,
you need to know.
No,
now.
so
you don't. I think you're missing the crux here. See, when I listened to that video very well, I listened to the video of Akpabio, his apology. You need to probably play it again.
Yeah,
now this
he
is
talks
what he
about, like,
said.
oh, they
He
came-
said They called my wife. My wife had to call me and say
3,000 calls.
I
His phone's
did
crashed.
day.
Yes,
Do you understand? He had to do what he had to do. If Gistlover did not, how many things have Nigerian politicians apologized to?
For. That's, I think,
How many
that
things have Nigerians
brings us
called
back
people
to-
that have they apologized for? Including the hashtag #EndSARS, including the police brutality. How many times have people apologized? Including the fact that Nigerians have cried that don't buy private jets.
So
The economy is
this now,
dwindling. How many times
because we
have
are
they
taking this to
apologized?
the level that I want to take it to. So this is where I now come in to say that when I see Nigerians saying that they want to go on the street to protest, we have seen clearly that there's a remedy, there's an antidote to this madness that happens amongst politicians.
Bloggers.
No,
it's not
it's not about bloggers.
It's
Calling
You
them
need to
out.
read. You need to read what was stated inside that.
Receipts.
Yes.
So receipts is what we need.
It was stated clearly that Oga, you either apologize to end it now, or we start to bring out your dossier, right?
You see, that can't work in civilized
wait.
society.
That's what I
No.
said, that people don't
But-
care about as long as they get things done. But that's what they do also. I'm not saying that people should play dirty, but you
No,
see,
but
they
guess
do
what?
the
No,
end
guess
justify
what?
the means.
You are not playing a fair game with our politicians in Nigeria. No, let's be honest.
I understand where you're
This
coming
is the
from.
goalpost. You change the goalpost. So you now as Nigerians, and this is what I say, that Nigerians have to be smarter, right? You have to be smarter. You must speak the language that will get them running. Because for me, the fact that the Senate president came immediately to apologize, it means there's something that this blog knows that we do not know, that he knows. But we'll take a break first. Let's come back from that break. We'll continue the conversation and open our phone lines.
I was just,
Hey.
I was just about to say, do you know that the bomb of
Nigeria, by extension, Africa, is faced with a lot of challenges.
With the growing youth population and very little engagement.
That is a ticking time bomb.
We're blessed people with a diverse culture who have a lot to say.
The future.
Yesterday's conversation shaped today.
What are you saying to shape your tomorrow?
We know you have a lot to say, and we are here to hear you. All right, thanks for staying with us. Now, if you just tuned in, it's our ladies' night out, and we're having a conversation around Senator Akpabio's nightclub comment and his apology. Now, please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join this conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-8663. You can also call our phone line. The number to call is 07025 007749. Me, I don't want to know what happened. I don't want to know what they know, because I'm not particularly a gist person. But I'm saying to you that what I saw in all of these things is the fact that, right, there's a method to their madness.
Yeah.
There's a formula that works, because whatever the thing is, if it was the pressure of his phone and his wife's phone being
Private
released in the
information
public,
being released.
private information, and the ex-side chicks, the current side chicks,
Yeah.
everybody calling him that Baba, what's going on?
What's happening?
Whatever this blog did, I'm
Yeah.
saying that the fact that he came out
Yeah.
to apologize, it means that whatever that strategy is, it works. Do you understand? It worked.
Yeah.
So I'm saying let's transfer that same energy, because this is what we hear. When 4 women are talking, they say, I beg that one na salon talk, right? This one a beer parlogist. You just dismiss people, right? If you see a woman that is very curvy and all of that, you automatically objectify her. You automatically, these are stereotypes.
Yeah.
So what he did in the house was just from the abundance of his
It's
heart.
a reflection
Because
of
this
the
is a conversation.
society.
I mean, this is not even because there are some things I would not say.
Yeah.
Not be nightclub go come my mouth first, because the truth is it not in my head.
Yeah.
Right? So whatever it is that he did, I mean the blogs did, I don't want to know. But I'm saying that Nigerian politicians, they have a language. And for us to make any effective change in this country, we have to start to speak that language. Whatever this blog did, they spoke the language. I don't know. But that's my thought. But let me come back to you, Diola.
I'm passing to.
Okay.
I will come back to you.
No, but
Honestly,
So for me now is we need to get the message, the gist, the crux of this is that as public office holders, there's some level of expectation. There's a certain way you're expected to carry yourself in terms of how you communicate. We see them. I mean, Akpabio is not the first person to just sound very condescending.
Yeah.
If you want to listen to the way Wike talks, sometimes when he's addressing, we've seen where he addresses,
TV personality on a media personality that spoke to somebody.
Yes. So at the end of the day, my point here is it's a value thing.
Yeah.
We need to understand that before you are anything, before you're a superstar, before you're a governor, before you're a senator, you are a human being. And we need to treat people with respect and dignity. And that's what happens in a saner climate.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're not ladies, we're not a salon here. Good evening. Good evening, you're live. Hello. Another call coming in. Hello, Pastor Princess. Wow, okay. We need to cut off the line. So please, when you call in, right, turn down the volume of whatever device it is that you're watching us from so we can, hear ourselves. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that another call coming in?
No. I was just going to say that, you see, this conversation can go any way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When public office holders, right, when you hold a certain position in power, there are some things that it is like a taboo that should not even come out of your body, right? But we've seen these kinds of conversations come out, from different quarters. Let's even list any president, even amongst people.
Yes, that's
right?
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even amongst people, you see it happen all the time.
Absolutely.
Boss, employee, boss
relationship.
You see all those very condescending.
Very,
Even
very.
people, that's what I say. People
So
are,
now it then comes back to, is this a culture thing in Nigeria?
It is a cultural thing.
It
It is a
is.
value
The
thing.
patriarchal system.
Yes. Whether you like it or
And
not,
then
that's
at
an
the end of the day,
established fact.
So let me take Pastor
conversation-
Princess. I think she's back. Then I'll come back to you, Mercy. Are you back? Hello, good evening.
Yes, I'm
Go ahead.
back. Good evening, everyone.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that our leaders have come to see Nigeria as a big joke. Since I started seeing Senate presidents, I've never seen an unserious one like the one there now. But as a pastor, we always say that God does not make mistakes in picking people that he puts in leadership. And I still stand by that God does not make mistakes. But the reality on ground is that this Senate president there has always been very funny. He has always not been showing any kind of seriousness. Imagine somebody, this is not the first time he's doing blunder now. The other time he said, let the poor break. They say, let the poor break. You can imagine that. So I just pray that God will make his way happen in this country. But the truth is that we need revolution. Whether we like it or yet, we need revolution. For God to help us carry broom, that's their APC broom, to sweep out all these unserious people.
Thank you, Pastor Princess. But she's right to some extent, right? Because it was the same Senate president that said prayers will be sent to your inboxes. What was it that he said?
Yeah,
that blunder when they were giving them a special allowance, when they were sharing money. I mean, this man has been known for it. How did we get here?
No,
So
but
Because that's what
I've been saying.
Buffer said.
The man is irresponsible. And then we pick one thing and then we say, it's like something happens. It was condescending, right? He wasn't being sexist. He's an irresponsible man. He said he called fellow senators thugs in 2015. The same man. He's known for it. My only issue is, let's not make it about a woman. Let's make it about a human being has been insulted. If he had said a marketplace, would we have been happier? If he didn't say, oh, this is not a nightclub.
That was what he said now. He said, we will not say that he has called her a market woman.
Market woman.
If he said this is not a community, he will say we'll call her a village, it's a
right?
village.
So my problem is, it is not about a woman. It is that a senator will say that. And I think I saw a video just before that one where they were presenting a bill on rebuilding a community center. And he said, he said, rebuild it with government money and give it back to the community.
Yeah.
That's the level of, there's no empathy. It doesn't feel what
that
Nigerians.
Zero empathy. It showed zero empathy.
It should be inconceivable.
And that was the senator representing Abuja.
Yes.
When she presented that bill. Senator Natasha now stood up to second the bill.
Yes.
Things that impact people, because what that woman raised in the house was the fact that
it should be
when they build all these marketplaces, right? When they dislodge the owners of the market and they rebuild it, that the original occupants of those marketplaces are unable. They are unable to afford the new buildings, right? So she was saying that whatever it is that they want to do, please, it has to be included, that they have to make it extremely affordable so that the original owners of those shops can take it back.
So he said, is it
a case in point? When I went to Kaduna, there was a particular market that, it's a big market in Kaduna, Kakuri market. Even the station market. They've rebuilt market. Nobody is entering those shops because it's too expensive. Everybody has gone out by the road. Do you understand? Because they cannot sell. Same thing with Tejo Show. Same thing with Aladdin Market. So these things are things that affect people. Yeah. So as a senator, you are the Senate president, and when you make statements like you're representing the people, I don't see you representing us.
That's what the senator said. It's if you say government money, government is the people, so it's the people's
and we're
money.
Here representing the people.
And you say, oh, so we should.
So going back to his comment, right? And this is a broader thing, right? This is a thing that we always see when it comes to our leaders, right? They just loosely say things. And they don't even care how this impacts, right? I've said it. But if we flipped that coin, and it was the conversation, the comments were coming from us. A different ball game.
And that's why I said that, no one is actually, I know that it depends on how you look at it. I would always still say it again. That's a sexist comment, very condescending. And it is not because, if we say he already has a persona where he speaks like that, he talks carelessly without guarding his word, it is what it is, right? But you can also not take that, because if you look at it from where it's coming, the person who pushed out this, narrative and whatever made him to put down this apology, don't forget that it wouldn't have just been normal rant if nobody reached out to the wife and called and all of that. The point here again is this kind of comment is not good at all. So it's not necessarily that people are making it about a woman, but from where it came from,
she's enough for him, that's why I'm saying that whatever he did, whatever that blog did, whoever the blog person is, right, that person understands the language of our Nigerian politicians, right? And I think that we can take a leaf of wisdom from that and start to intentionally call these people out. Because if you hear several quotas that have said that your councillors are not doing anything, your senators are not doing anything, and they've told us several times that we have the right to recall these people. But how many of us have exercised those rights? Because we are clueless as to what to do. So imagine if we take that same energy, because this guy just published number. He said, in fact, the phone crashed and everything. Imagine if we took that same energy and we decide to say, you know what, for every person representing any constituency in Nigeria, be it at the assembly level or at the national level or as councillors, we'll begin to call out bring out all their
receipts.
All their receipts.
Let's do the dirty laundry.
Let's just wash it, do the dirty laundry, because we've tried to play a clean game all these years. It's not working.
It will be very effective. Politicians have been there for years. Dirty laundry is how people get to say,
because they play dirty as well. Politicians play very dirty. So if they play dirty, I think we need to match them dirty for dirty, energy for energy.
But we don't have that information.
Apart from the fact
we'll go look for the blog.
I'm not even sure. I think that outside of the fact that, okay, maybe that may work in the short term, right? But in the long term, again, I always say that the first thing as much as sometimes we look at these things and we think, okay, maybe this is the ideal thing to do. Nigeria is a complex society. We are a communal society, and that counts for something. Is it not because people called the wife? In Western climes, okay, somebody calls your wife. I mean, why would you even have my number? Do you understand? It is because the woman feels like, oh, I need to, maybe it's my mother that called, my sister. Yeah. We're still very closely tied with family, with people.
I think that the kind of call, I think that you're missing.
You think they're threatening her?
No, they're not threatening her. The kind of call that wait, do you think it's our relative that called her?
No. It's people.
They are just random people.
See, let me tell you something. Guess what? How long would you switch off your phone? Are you saying that in all honesty, okay, we're playing this game, right? Everybody, you feel like you have a receipt on me, you publish it. Do you honestly think that as Senate president, they cannot carry gist lover? Do you honestly think so?
Do you think they can? They find the person?
Are you joking?
They're not finding the person.
They will find the person.
Let me tell you something. No. Let me give you for free. Okay. If they could, the people that are on that list to arrest that gist lover.
But guess what? There is a lot of undertone. Let me give lover cannot categorically come out and say everything I have done it in the interest of the people. It's a lie.
That is
for a fact.
Some unethical things.
There are bigger things at play. There are bigger things at play.
Like honestly, because I think that if we delve into this, it's going to.
So if we get dirty, let's.
So the point is, but giving you heads up, you've talked about it recently. There was a time, I think that was about last year or thereabouts. They tried to pick up Gist Lover. Up until now, and if we're talking about Gist Lover, I'm sure Gist Lover will be like, this video shall make it to Gist Lover's blog.
Let me put out a disclaimer. I have dirty linen. You don't need to bring up my receipt.
No.
So what I'm saying is, they haven't been able to, for whoever is actually operating the account, as much as you say that, it's just the approach. It's just the same way this, politicians, just like she said. If you read the book, or if you want to be wicked, go and read the Machiavellian
48 laws of power.
No. Apart from 48,
that one.
Read Machiavellian theory. Go and read the Machiavellian, what's it called again? The Prince, yes. That's the Machiavellian. It talks about the Machiavellian. You will know wickedness. I think that some of these politicians have read this book.
These are
they understand. Like, you will understand how to be wicked. You understand? You'll be so brutal that you don't even understand. So the point here is the approach that this blog is actually using is it seems some sort of way matching their same energy.
Yes.
Because they have tried to arrest Gist Lover. When they arrested the Gist Lover, the people they arrested, we know the boys that they arrested. They are just guys, foot soldiers.
No, but they really want to. There are people in Nigeria that will dig up Gist Lover.
Let me tell you, see, Gist Lover was still Gist Lover.
I'm telling you that Gist Lover is not in Nigeria.
Yeah, to start
That's the point I'm making. That it is impossible.
It is impossible for the person to be in Nigeria. What they did was they arrested those foot soldiers. And while those they say they don't arrest Gist Lover see they tweet.
But that's
I knew that it was a wrong arrest.
In the interest of
police pick up people on the street and say the criminal.
In the interest of public, interest, in the interest of growth, in the interest of development, progress, we can't. Sometimes, I know that it's easy to say fire for fire. But
I disagree. No. Like, these are dirty men. Let's play dirty games. If that's what they understand.
Okay, so what about the fallout to other people?
Spoils of war. Everybody will be all right last. Really.
What if he hits you?
Everybody has side chicks.
This is actually going to die. This is going to die.
No, but did you see the way it's captioned?
Does it change anything?
I don't know who will be this about. The way it's captioned it. It said that Nigerians, if you are looking for your money, to know where your money, why development is not happening in Nigeria.
You're the problem.
Come and see that it is your fellow people that are see where your money is going to. So let me tell you something. For me, the crux of this issue, what I just got, I'm not attacking any person personally at all. Concern, because myself get my own skeleton in my cupboard. The point I'm trying to make is that the truth about what our politicians have done to our nation is that funds that are supposed to be used for things that would develop a larger populace.
Yeah.
A lot of them have cornered those funds
For side chicks.
for personal things. Do you get what I'm saying?
I get you.
So that for me, that was what I got from this. And the truth is, if truly people can start to dig up the receipts for some of these things, these guys will get their acts together. They'll get their
I
acts
always
together.
say that, for me, this is what I think. The Senate president can as well, I mean, this is personal life. As long as he doesn't, his wife is okay with it.
The wife is not okay.
No, wait,
That's
let
why
me
he came
say
out.
something. As long as you can't tell,
I said she's not
where
okay.
she's not okay with it. My point is, if he wants to, you know, as long as the women are agreeing, if he wants to have like 100 women, you know, and all of that, as long as it is not hurting national interest. And
National cake is not being affected.
As
It's
long
fine.
as it is not the
This is
resources,
personal thing.
if it's personal funds that he's spending, you know, but in cases like this, if such allegations are raised, you know that there's usually an investigation in a Senate.
It's not personal funds.
Do you understand? We want to know that he can carry my own is if he wants to carry 100 women. If he wants to have 100
Use
side
your
chicks and
money.
wife, as long as it's not hurting, because I always say anything that you do that does not hurt another human
person.
being,
That's
or it's
it.
not a threat to national security, it's not threatening our national treasury, because it's our national, it's our own. Anything that is a threat to national security, national
Let's
treasury.
take comments.
Otilo is not good for us.
Oh yeah, quickly, who is going
Okay,
first?
so this is good evening, my dear beautiful sisters, or what are you saying? Hashtag with Senator Akpabio's nightclub comments and apology. This whole apology is just not concrete and genuine. I have a feeling that this senator was compelled to apologize, not that he had the willingness to do so, because these people feel they know too much and know nothing. My dear beautiful sister, who made mention of when people try to make a statement and they are being silenced. That nonsense has to stop. Pastor Princess made my day by saying that these people are making a joke out of this country, which I agree. She even said that we should use the APC logo, which is a broom, and sweep out all of these bad eggs and unserious people that I truly support. My dear beautiful sister, D, nice having you back. I really missed you. I missed you too, Daniel Illo.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this other one says, in my opinion, I agree with Buffer that we should be angry about the Senate president's pedigree and not just condescending comments made in the context of being sexist. And, you know, so it's like a twin issue. Just don't be angry about it.
Another person says, it's so sad that we have leaders that are worthless. Wow. So they can afford to talk anyhow in public. Just imagine how they are raising their children. So it's a circle. We just go round and round, round and round. The bad eggs every 4 years. It's time to actually attack their bad manners. Uncle, you didn't put your name on. Let them not think it's me that said it.
Last comment.
Let me do it this way quickly.
Yeah, I think it is imperative for public office holders to go through a course in communication.
I'm telling you, it's not only communication.
Apart from, you know,
decorum, etiquette. It's absolutely
because some of them, you see the way they talk. There's
appearance, behavior,
Absolutely
and communication.
important.
Sometimes on national television,
Yeah.
I mean, there was one that I saw a little bit, I was taken aback by the lack of finesse and courage. I was like,
Boma say, are you people surprised?
I am surprised.
She's not surprised.
I'm like,
too
I've seen
surprised.
politicians in Port Harcourt carrying the mace and hitting each other on the head. I'm not surprised. Those are thugs. They just happen to be in
Positions of
office.
power.
Yes, I'm not. Yeah. I expect that from them.
It is well. Wow. On that note, let us appeal to Gistlover again.
Please.
I want to beg whoever is in charge, please bring out more of these things, because we need to use this strategy to solve the bigger problem. Let's not focus on side chicks. Yeah. Let's focus on the bigger problem, which is the ones that is not making our country to develop. We are just begging you. Someone says, in life, when positions are allocated to individuals based on connections and not merit, then such unguarded utterances become their style of leadership. I wept. Hell, Rafael Pele. I'm not surprised. Thank you so much, ladies. I think we had a great time.
Absolutely.
You know, even though we're not a salon, let's just be guarded.
And we're not market women.
You are not market women. And we're not in, we are not in that one. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and most importantly, follow all our engagements on social media, like, share, and invite your families and friends. Don't watch alone. Share the link. Now we have to reject any form of hate speech that attacks people based on race, religion, or any other aspect of who they are. hate speech has no place in a just and equal society. This was from Barack Obama. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m. Anyway.